Hello. I have neglected my network. I have let it fall to rack and to ruin. But I am still determined to make vehicles, even if I break everything that I have constructed over the last 150 or so years doing so. So, Theobald's Grove body plant now only needs steel sheet. And then this will sort of set it fully into motion, building vehicle bodies. So steel sheet, obviously, we have our thing over. Where do we have it actually? Where are we making steel sheet? So you should probably go back to the cargo map and find that. So display the chain. Let's link this up to the small map, and the sheet and bagpipe mill is over here. Okay, so let's check that this can actually. Let's see sheet and pipe mill. So let's check this can actually get to there. So it has a junction which goes there. It has a junction which can go around there. Ooh, 4D series, and I didn't really have any need for that yet. So that can come up round here via Leicester. It's a little bit of a tortuous route, and I'm not sure. It's a little bit of a tortuous route, but it does actually get here. So let's do that. Let's split that off there. This can come up here, and this actually can just sort of be a nice sort of path-based approach up here. That won't work. That needs to be not 90-degree turns. So there we go. There's a little route in. Let's see, that may congest the main line actually being there. So I won't do what I was going to do there. Just going to fill that in. And let's see where this comes from. So this... Yeah, so actually, it'll be fine for this to come off here. And we can do that. That becomes a little bit slow, doesn't it? So let's make this a little bit different like that. So will that work? Will I get away with that? No, I won't get away with that. So this will need to be shorter. It's very inefficient tunnel building. There we go. So, and then that can go out there. And then probably need another tunnel here. Let's just do that. These little wiggles, I don't think they count for. I don't think they get any speed penalty. So I think they're not something to worry about too much. Let's go down here. I'm kind of just building tunnels now because I want to get a nice point which I can tee this off where I'm not really taking out any signalling gap. There we go. And that's nice. That's like into there. And then on the way out, we just need to come round and we tee this off here. I think this will do a nice job. So just making sure that this can go in both directions. There we go. That, and again, as I said before, this signaling that like that is fine. It's not going to be able to introduce any deadlocks. It just tightens the signal distance up a bit. Actually, I'm going to build my big causeway across here. So that goes into there. Then do I need... that connects up there, so I do want to give that the option to come around there if it so desires. That should be okay. It's still a little slow, isn't it? This is because this comes off here and then this goes back up to there. This is a thing. So this, I think, this junction is not widely used. So this doesn't need to be at particularly great signalling distances here. So I'm getting horribly distracted by other things to do than just build this network. So, Leyland Beaver, AM10s. Yeah, there's quite a lot of good stuff coming up again. So I'm just going to do with this is just try to shortcut some of this out. So I'm going to get to build some tunnel here. Yes, this is the usual thing, isn't it? Where Okay for it to wiggle off there. And that will do. And then, oh no, we don't want to do that. So there we go. We can build an alternative route down there. So that will let things get up there and around there if they so desire. Well, that's not a great way of doing that. The tunnel there, let's give a little bit of room over that to have a signal. So we should see trains coming up here. Yes, so we should see trains coming up here, and that should speed that up there. This may just be a problematic merge when they get up here, but let's leave those to do what they're doing. And so this can now get round to here. That's all fine. And that can get up there. That's all good. So I think the next thing to do is to go back. And let's keep these both up on screen. Now, body plants and pipe mills look quite similar, actually, don't they? That's okay. So this is the boat of garden pipe mill. So this is the pipe up. So do I want to go via the pipe up or do I want to go via the sheet up? I think I'm going to create an extra platform or two for sheet as well. So, and not least because I remember all the fussing that I did to get that depot in the right place. So I think, let's take advantage of that fussing that we did. So, oops, not waypoints yet. What's this? I want the ISR station. So just a good station A should do. That should be good enough. So this is quite slow exit. So I'm not going to try to do anything too exciting with that. So this needs the entry signal. This needs two-way signals there. That should be good. And then we will go back to the other types of signals as we signal that up. But let's get that up first. So. This is where we're going to put. This is going to be where sheet overload. There we go. So that should be okay. That should all work nicely. Oh, it did exactly what I didn't want to do, which was put the wrong type of signal in. Let's do that. I think that will be wrong as well. There we go. We put another signal there. And there should be a depot somewhere on the entrance to this. There is not, is there? We could build trains in that depot. It doesn't need to be that efficient. So it's just quite a sort of small train. So I think maybe a rat. It's a rat will be fine. Transits. No, we don't need transits. Don't need JBs. Could have used JBs for this, but now. So we have salmon wagons. Nothing too exciting. So these are going to be still sheet. So still sheet, that's 171 tons, that's way too much. I only want 114 tons, so this is going to go there. No, it's not. It's going to go via sheet overload first. That's going to go there. It's going to full load. That's my usual thing that I'm failing at currently. So it's going to go to the body plant, and it's just going to go. This is interesting. So this, of course, needs to also be an unload waypoint. So it needs to go via the unload waypoint. And then to there. And then, of course, we're going to do a conditional order jump back to here when the remaining lifetime is more than 1. And then, if not, oh no. I really need an undo for that, don't I? That's my new way of screwing up the orders. I've screwed up nothing until I clicked the delete by accident. So let's go back and do that all again, because apparently my mouse clicking is not very reliable. So for the load, that's good. So we're going to do a conditional order jump back to there when remaining lifetime is more than 1. And then we're going to go and find a depot. So let's go back to here, because I think we could just go into the overload depot. That won't be any problem. So service there, yes, excellent, good. And make sure it's actually refit to carry steel sheet. Yes, we did that, good. So there we go. That's not too bad. only had to do that twice. Ah, yes, these uncrouped trains. These are my glass trains, in fact. So that's good. And what I should do now actually is do something which is really not advisable normally. I should just download the upgrades. So I should, because I did fix this between episodes. So this is something that's happened way in the past. You probably see this is a really old version for you, 139. But these glass trains, can I mess with these while that's happening? Oh, I can. It's a sort of semi-modal window, but I can mess with these. So I can pop these in here. Now, this will download now. I don't know whether I can force it to upgrade while I'm in game. Whether this will break things or not. So these anyway. These were steel sheets. So let's create the group for steel sheet. I'm surprised how much the game allows you to do while you have the download window open. This is a whole new temptation of fate from me. This sort of casual, don't do what I'm doing level stuff. So steel sheet. These stone throws. Yes, this is fine. That's all good. Download complete. Okay, so I'm just going to casually save this before I destroy everything. So let's do an upgrade. So that should have upgraded the road vehicles, the community add-on, and the trains. So the tracks. Why is that trying to upgrade the tracks? Let's see what happens here. Are we going to crash? Are you going to get a lovely black train? No, it is all good. And so you should see. We go look at the glass trains now. Now that the glass house stone throwers. Yes, hooray! We now have crates on that. That's a very important thing to do. So this is good. This has these are steel sheet, so that's going. I'm going to leave that on screen. And I just cloned that a couple of times. That's going well now. So let's get that all going there. So it's all good. Excellent. So you have everything is sort of working. So let's go to this. Let's see how this goes on its travels. Ah, yes, you can. So you can double click this. I'm sure I've mentioned that you can double click this to follow a train. Let's follow it at this resolution, actually. Follow it at 1x. Ooh, Great Lancaster food is getting old. What is Great Lancaster food? You should really find out. We can do some maintenance while this is going on. So let's have a look at Great Lancaster food. It's a road vehicle of some type. Where are Great Lancaster food and Parkston? Why is Parkston food that? So these are carrier bantams. So if you could replace them with Leyland beavers, that would do. So this might be a bit over capacity, but these should also carrier bantams, but let's replace these with Guy Big J's. So let's let those carry on. Covers per mail is disaster area as always. Some of these are doing all right. Stonehaven Green has just far too many mail trucks. There we go. Oxygen is still. Yeah. So let's have a look while this is going over here. Let's have a look and see if we've got any vehicles which are getting a bit old. ARC85 apparently is from Bristol L's. Bristol L's. We should probably replace the Bristol L's. We should probably replace them with Leyland Leopards. There's a lot of things that are still running on set roads, not really getting the full benefit there. Those Super Sentinels as well. Those Super Sentinels could probably. Drury Shunters, yeah. The Drury Shunters has quite good tractive effort, actually, so I think quite up for that. So Vulcan Mark IIs. Well, that's interesting. So the Vulcan Mark IIs. Well, what I'm going to do, actually, with these ones that are male, these are probably a little bit overspecified, so I'm just going to replace them with transits, I think. There's a gift knock male as well. That has the same thing. They're a bit overspecified, so let's see. So just have transits instead. And this it loses some capacity, but looking at the money these make, I don't think they run anywhere near full capacity, so it makes sense to just have transits on the mail services. There we go. So I wonder whether I could do the replacement at the higher level. Actually, I've not tried that. Some reason I have a feeling it doesn't work, but maybe I'm wrong. So that's good. Yes, so those are keep running. So that should solve most of those. We have this looks like an old thing which I was trying to fix. So the Brunsbury villains. What are these? These are Bristol low deckers. Does that mean the low decker's not? That's available. So those. That's just a case of those need to be serviced. And then that should be most of the road vehicle problems. And oh wow. How on earth do I still have ECS types that are not being replaced? So they just replaced them with VILs. That's completely inappropriate. It's a long distance coach, but a Wakefield S-type club as well. This is interesting. So these are Park Royals there. Is this a case the Park Royal has been... yes, that's been superseded, so that's why that's happening. And I think... There we go. So you see Parkston Food is sort of solved itself, but also not. And the still sheet is still going, so that's good. I should probably check on the still sheet to make sure that I actually have enough vehicles. And let's have a look at the trains. 443 trains. Wow. That's quite... So where do we have the problems? So remaining lifetime is the Brockley bells, bollards, salts, tubes there as a problem. So Brockley bells, let's have a look at that. So it's these as well. I think sad as it is to replace the bells with these, I think really is going to have to be the 4.6, which are just going to be a bit of a boring train replacement. So these nice attractive things just being replaced with old kind of BR units. Well, they're new BR units at the moment, but the LMS Fowler 264T Hemeyer's line, that probably could do with just replacing with something. Yes, you should think about the Hemeyer's line. This Leicester, so this is D81 class, and that D81 I thought I was replacing with something. So this just a... There's the D81. Yes, we are replacing those, so that should just be actually going to a depot. Hooray! Still sheet has done its thing. So we're now sort of on the way. Oh yes, 163 tons of vehicle bodies. So we kind of should be picking an assembly plant rather than just sort of hurtling about with these. Carpets Bay tube. That should probably be replaced. Which tube is that? So that is going to be standard stock, I guess. Is it standard stock? Yes, it's standard stock. So let's replace the standard stock with another length-free tube stock. So do we have a tube-free stock? So OP stock. These are all quite long. So an OP stock is not a massive upgrade, but at least it gets us somewhere. And then we don't have too many old trains. These Bollard kind of, it's expensive to run, but it still makes money. So I'm not going to fuss about that. There we go. Vehicles, my obsession. Oh dear. They have rather too many trucks here now, don't they? So let's get rid of a few trucks. I'm going to say vehicles, my obsession, but not so obsessed that I can't go and deal with some trucks. Trucks. Just send those to the depot. I mean, they probably need to send more than that to the depot, but let's just send a few for now. So at least make sure there's not a massive queue building up. There we go. That's good. That's all good. And where is that? Oh yes, that's already been sent to the depot. So there we go. That should be okay. Salt is getting old. Let's have a look. What does salt run? So much for my obsession. Ah, yes, there's something here, isn't there? Fowler 4Fs. Those could just become class 20s, really. There's nothing to sort of stop them. We do also at some point need to have a kind of view over the network of trains that are the kind of using very old and slow wagons, which should speed things up as well on some of those slow sections. But let's hold off for now. That's kind of optimizing. It's making things better. We can live without making things better. So assembly plants. It's an interesting thing. So I'm sure I picked one that I wanted to use at one point, but now. So we've got a choice here. We could go with sort of stupid long distance, but I'm actually going to go with, let's just do it to go over here. I think this Oxford. And this actually is ideal. This is exactly where we should have our vehicle assembly plant, because there is indeed a car factory near Oxford. There's Cowley, which obviously used to be with Austin Morris, and obviously now makes minis, and may have made minis back in the day, the other type of mini, but that's so it's a bit of a nice sort of drop-off station here. So I think we are a sort of 3x6, and then we can. That's going to be an interesting problem. So yes, because well, no, what we can do is just go over that as two bridges, and then join up later. So that's the exit route. This is going to be the entrance route, and so maybe not quite so much entrance. And there we go. So that gives a signal that comes in. There we go. That should be good. That can go out over there. Oh, that's so I'm going to run the entryway down here. So there we go. So that can link up there. So okay, let's think about how we want to connect it to the rest of the network. So because this boat of Garton, I think this is passenger. There's an AI there. What's an AI doing? Oh, that's just a coal route. That's fine. Not going to be too worried about that. Where can I connect to my freight routes? That is the question. So nearly coming down here, I think your best connection point is going to be sort of this point, kind of south of Boat of Garton. So let's do that. Let's get over here. So let's go now. Is there a nice valley that we can follow? I think there's a nice sort of river valley that we can follow. And so we have to go round over here. Can we get away with doing that? Oh, yes, we can. We can get sort of nicely past the river. So over this sort of farmland here. Now, this is probably a good point just to hop over that track. So let's bring those over here. And then, there's an industry in the way. Okay, this is not a great point to hop over that track. Unless, now we can do this, but it could involve a little bit of trickery, or is it? Or actually, no, what we could do, so rather than going over, let's try going under instead. Under will be fun. So you can build a little trench down here, and that's a slightly long signalling distance, but it'll be okay. It'll be fine. So put a little trench around here, and then just some trench out there. Savium SM. Now this is a little bit close to build the trench. There's an iron ore mine, so we'll leave a little bit of space around there. So we come around there. So this is actually part of a cargo network, the Fast and Bulbous network. So I wonder where that goes. Does that go anywhere useful? Does it connect to anything? No, it doesn't really connect to anything. So I'm not going to worry too much about that one there. So let's just connect. So let's hop over that, and this Boat of Garton, it's always sort of a little bit busy around here, so we may once more be thinking, can we do something clever? Well, actually, I think maybe just the clever thing to do is not to come up there. where it's all rather busy. So I'm going to leave that, because that will get, as you say, a bit too busy. Continue this trench on. I just go under Bradford and Avon Barnes. That feels like an okay thing to do. Now, good. The AI gave up what it was doing there. That's handy. So it's interesting. I say gave up what it was doing. I think it tried to build a road tunnel. That's fine. I mean, continue in our trench. Sort of, might fill up with water or something, but that just make the train travel a bit more exciting. So there we go. So there's an industry there. I don't know if we'll get away with tunneling the land down enough, but I think we have, yes. And so there we go. So we can just build that there. Nope, we can get away with that. And maybe we'll go up one tile here. And that takes us around Boat of Garton. Probably. I need to think about how we're going to junction these up together. Oh, Parkston Life's getting old. Ah, yes, Northern General SE6s. These were quite old at the point that we built them. So that will definitely need addressing. Life will get easier once we get into the sort of the 80s and beyond, where we start getting some of the vehicles which actually just stay around more or less forever. Okay, so let's do this. This is a little bit of a roundabout route, but some slightly tighter turns, but this is an industrial line. It won't matter that much. So not to do that. So there we go. So that can come out there. It's a little bit tight, that, isn't it? There. Let's go. Ah, that's interesting. Ah, okay. That was already on a foundation. That's why I couldn't build that. There we go. So that's going to come around there. And we are now going to have an awful problem, which is to try to get this into roughly the right place without having all sorts of problems with fast and bulbous. So actually, I think what I might do is make this quite a sort of bit of spaghetti, I guess, but productive spaghetti, and make this go sort of the wrong way briefly, with an end in mind, which is this is going to go sort of the wrong way up here, and then use this. No, I can't really use... Can I use this tunnel? Yes, I can, I think. So it's a little bit slow. A little bit imperfect, but... So that's going to go around there. And that goes around there. And that gets us to the to the vehicle factory. Oh, brushed kestrel, that would be... I know what that could be used for, actually. That will solve my bollard problem. Which is, yes, bollard is going to be replaced with the brushed kestrel, which is never really used in real life. It was sold to the Soviet Union so they could take it apart and go, oh, that looks interesting. But here we are going to definitely use the brushed kestrel. So let's set that replacing. But before we get to use brushed kestrel, we want to see. So we've just connected this. Where does it go? Where does it go? So we go round. Do we go round Tisbury Furnace? Can we actually get anywhere from it? So, I think we don't. I think we are. So we do have a route which we could extend here and then go up through here. Well, this is going to be a bit of a long one, isn't it? And should I break it here? No, let's not break it here. Let's keep going. Let's keep trying with this, because I think we're possibly on something. So let's go the other side of that road, go past Tisbury Furnace. So this gets us onto this track. Where does this take us? This takes us nowhere useful. So we go up through these hills, we go up through here. Now that takes us up far across. That takes us through here. That I think is connected to the network. So I think, well, the solution now is to try to build something at Kensal Green, I think. So let's just do that. Let's build some fixtures. Let's just quickly build. Now, this is not going to be very attractive because I'm just trying to build things quickly now. But yeah, so build a good station for some components. Let's make it 2x7. So I do want these to be quite good sort of loadable trains. So there we go. So that's going to come around there. That's going to come around there. This is going to be. So I might actually try to do as well is keep this all on one level here. So this is the inbound. So there we go. So that's that going in. So there we go. So there we go. So that's that coming in, and now we're going to just come around here and back through there. So this is now our exit route. There's a train in the way there. So, but once that train gets out of the way, we can connect that up. Yeah, so that would have been useful to have when we were messing about with the standard stock. Just not get too distracted. So we have that set up. We just put in a waypoint there, which is going to be the Kensal Green load. We should probably make sure that everything that goes via here, it goes via an unload waypoint. Otherwise disaster will strike sooner or later. So there's quite a few things that go through here. So stainless steel, for example, will have to go through the unload. Living in the plastic age will have to go via the unload. So that's good. I think, are these all can we sort them by group? I guess maybe I can sort them by model. So alloy steel is done. Living in the plastic age. Let's check that alloy steel is done. Just make sure it's done. No, it's not. So there we go. Kensal Green unload. So alloy steel, living in the plastic age. So electronics needs to go via Kensal Green unload. And the double failures I'm not too worried about. Oh, there we go. So now I just need to make sure there's a nice depot on the inbound, and I'm going to be horribly inefficient with my depots again, but because things don't really need to service here, because I don't have breakdowns on, and vehicles are only servicing really at the point when they absolutely desperately need it. So I'm going to put Westerns on these. Actually, Westerns are quite powerful and have good tractive effort. So let's do that. Westerns. These are going to be vehicle parts, and we are going to need a lot of vehicle parts. So I'm actually going to go to the full 6.8 for this. 456 tons of vehicle parts. I'm going to load. I'm going to go. Well, I first need to go via Kensal Green load and get full load here, and then we are going to go all the way over here to the vehicle factory. So which will need an unload actually, and we may as well do that right away, which is Oxford unload. So just go via that and then go via that. I'm going to be a bit naughty. I'm going to put a depot there again. It shouldn't really go there. I should do some kind of efficient things, but reading lifetimes more than one. We skip this, but otherwise we go to this depot and we service, and that will force these to renew. So there we go. So that's going to be vehicle parts, and I do apologise for the tremendous length of this, but as I said, I have an obsession with vehicles, and I'm damned if I'm going to delay yet another episode before I get my vehicle part over to the vehicle factory. So So here we go. Now, hopefully no nefarious AIs will come and steal my stuff while I'm doing this, which is a potential concern. But let's see how we go. So this should be going to the load station. And this, yes, this before I get too far, while these are still doing their thing, this should be a block signal. These should be entry and exit signals. These should be things. So let us check that that's actually loading. And when you go to arenas getting older, it's one of the Bristol type buses. And that, of course, has decided to not do what it's supposed to be doing. So you can be punished. You can go all the way around. So we are now waiting, I think, for something to arrive here, which is just about to. So we should see where this works. And come on. And we have vehicle parts. Vehicle empire continues, and our ongoing disaster continues, but we shall deal with that at some point. It doesn't matter. Vehicles is my obsession, and I shall leave you on that obsession and see you next time.